The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini-documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Hello, welcome to this mini-documentary series. I'm your host, Brian Mullins the Fox. Recording all of these episodes via my laptop's built-in microphone in a hotel room. I am mainly focused on America, not Canada, because it's easier to get into more specific numbers each year, other than just an average a year. In 1998, the uprising of the killing and eating of children for not believing in Christmas began on November 17th of the same year. The average daily death toll being 2,677 children. The dates between when it started and New Year's Eve 1998 is 44 days. So during this whole 44-day spike, the daily death toll, instead of it being 2,677, it's a whopping 22,211, which means the average daily roast game death toll went up by 8.3%. How many turkeys that would have been consumed had it not been for the roast game on Christmas 1998, but wasted anyway? Before we get to the answer of that question, let's go into an old 2001 PDF. According to the National IPM database called Crop Profile for Turkey in California, the United States produces 300 million turkeys annually. The average American eats 17.6 pounds of turkey annually. Californians, on the other hand, generally eat 2 to 3 pounds more than the national average. For 1998, the pounds of U.S. turkey per capita is 18.7, while California is 20.5. Presumably somewhere between 13 million and 22 million. All are wasted and not consumed for Christmas in 1998, in comparison to between 37 to 46 million consumed on Thanksgiving on average. Turkey in general comes in a lot of varieties, forms, and ways, so you're still going through all those birds, but not always literally. In the case of 1998, the amount of turkeys overall in all varieties, forms, and ways that have been consumed that year is 188,400,000. Throughout all the years I've learned about the roast game consumption statistics. When I define consumption, I mean the people eating or using something, not just buying it and counting it as consumption. It would be a half-assed way and a half-assed excuse to call it consumption if I just only counted the amount of purchase, hams or turkeys, and counted as consumption when it's not the case at all. These estimates / statistics will likely not be mentioned again after this episode, but the yearly roast game death toll and the percentage it rises and falls over time will be mentioned. 59.1% of the pork produced each year is wasted right around Christmas. We will get into specifics by the time we get into 2000, all the way through 2016. So to quickly recap, the roast game death toll in America began with an 8.3% sharp rise. The rate will rapidly decrease from within 44 days to 365 days by 1999. There will only be 5 times that leap years will make the yearly death toll slightly bigger: 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, and 2016. There will be a slightly higher rate of deaths every leap year. Christmas turkey and ham waste completely cancels out any potential consumption of said meat choices for the holiday and substituted it with consuming their own children's butt meat after slaughtering them for not believing in Christmas. In the next episode, we'll get into 1999. I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then. The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini-documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Welcome to the second episode of this entire mini docu-series. I'm your host, Brian Mullins the Fox. Let's dig into 1999, the year I was born. Last time in this mini docu-series, I have shown you that the roast game yearly death toll had a sharp rise of 8.3%. In 1999, it went back to normal, meaning that it dropped by 8.3%. So the rate is consistent and stagnant for the following years: 1999, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014, and 2015. Like I said before, when it comes to pork and turkey waste right on Christmas, we'll get to that once we get into 2000, the first leap year during the roast game era. The average caloric intake per serving of human meat in this past situation was 331 calories. The average caloric intake for a family or gathering of 12 was 3,968 calories. The average serving was 3 to 4 slices per person. So, on the next episode of The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year, we'll get into 2000, which is indeed the first leap year in the roast game era. I am your host, Detective Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then. The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year, the finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Welcome to the third millennium in this time period known as the roast game era. Hello everybody, I am Brian Mullins the Fox. Well, 2000 was a leap year, so the yearly roast game death toll for this year, just like every other leap year, is 979,957. That means the roast game death toll jumped up by 1% every leap year. When it comes to food waste, the 2000s was likely the first decade these statistics were digitally observed and put up onto the internet. When it comes to pork production on such a wide scale in America, of course. So for the year 2000, in the first year of the third millennium, 18,952,000,000 pounds of pork was produced in the United States of America, according to statistics. So we use that number and multiply that by 59.1% of the hams that were wasted on Christmas. And we get this number. And then we divided that number by 318 million pounds purchased a year for Christmas, according to the Time.com article that I've referenced for years. And it only gives me the fact that 35,222,113 hams were wasted on Christmas on the Christmas of 2000 and should have been consumed had it not been for the roast game. You gotta get them while they're young. Just saying, turkey and ham just wasn't enough back then. They got to get them while they're young. When it comes to turkeys, though, you'll find out in the next episode according to Statista. Apparently, they didn't have one for 2000. That's accurate enough. This is a more accurate stat than the other one where it excludes the loss of young toms. I am going to have to use the first episode as a reference. It's between 13 to 22 million. I said I wouldn't bring this up, but I guess I have to. But now let's recap. The death toll for this year, just like for the other 4 leap years, jumped up by 1%. 35,222,113 hams were wasted before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed at all. Tune in next episode where we go into 2001, so where both meat choices get exposed to the world. I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then! numbers by the year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Now we're in the third millennium. Sorry for celebrating too early in this timeline. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Mullins the Fox. Now we're in the third millennium in the Roast Game era timeline. For children, it's a consistent 977,280 deaths a year. And 2001 is one of the consistent years with the death toll. Here's where the food waste gets worse by the year. And by the next episode, when we cover 2002, you'll start to see that trend. When it comes to wasted hams, there were about 35,608,679 hams. Before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed for Christmas at all in 2001. And for turkeys, it's even bigger. 42,539,750 of them wasted before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed for Christmas at all. This will be the first out of many episodes where we will have all the data we need for this short but deep analysis. So let's recap now. The Roast Game death toll in 2001 is just like for any other year, 977,280. There were 35,608,679 hams and 42,539,750 wasted turkeys. Before I exit out of this episode and jump into the next, I want y'all to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to the Roast Game Television. I'm your host, Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. The Roast Game, numbers by the year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Hello everybody, I am Brian Mullins the Fox, and welcome to episode 5 of the Roast Game Numbers by the Year. We're covering 2002. Again, just like last episode, for the Roast Game death toll, it is still, for this year, 977,280. For wasted hams, this time, unlike last year, it has gotten up 36,584,387. Wasted hams before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed for Christmas at all. And for turkeys, I've done the math, of course, it's 43,694,500, up just a little bit from last year, 2001, during the Roast Game era. People should understand, or at least know where I'm getting the numbers from when I'm doing the calculations so no one gets confused. Where does the 37.2% come from? This graphic from an article from the website known as countinganimals.com. The one I referenced in my passionate rant about Christmas food waste in 2020. Next year, we're covering 2003. I am Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then. The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini-documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Hello everyone, I am Brian Mullins the Fox, and welcome to a very special episode of The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. Instead of doing 1 episode a year anymore, it's going to be 5 years an episode. In this episode, we're going to go through 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, and 2007. To straighten things out, we'll be starting off with Wasted Hams for 2003, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we'll go into Wasted Turkeys for the same 5 years, and then the Roast Game Yearly Death Toll. Everyone should know where I got the 37.2% number for turkeys, and everyone should clearly know where I got the 59.1% number for pork. To be clear, how I calculate the math for turkeys first is the yearly turkey production in billions of pounds, reduce it down by 37.2%, then I divided the number by both 16 pounds, or the average weight of a turkey in the US, and by 24 pounds, or the average carcass weight of a turkey in America. Then I subtract the bigger number by the smaller number, and then I get my answer of how many wasted turkeys were wasted before, during, and after Christmas, and not even consumed at all on Christmas for each year. For hams, on the other hand, I use the yearly pork production, which is, of course, in billions of pounds. I reduced it by the amount of pork or roasted hams wasted on Christmas every single year on average, and then I divide the slightly smaller number than the first one, which was the pork production number for each year, by 318 million pounds. And you already know that it came from the Time.com 2014 article. And then we get the wasted hams every year. As a result, we have to define consumption. When I say consumption statistics, of course, consumption obviously means when you purchase and eat the ham or turkey. If you just purchase it and not eat it, then you're wasting it. There's no middle ground in between wasting and actually consuming the shit. So if you lied about what you ate as the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, this is the proof. It's in the food waste. And it is a goddamn shame. Now let's get on with the numbers, shall we? For roasted hams. For 2003, an estimated 37,106,622 of them were wasted before, during, and after the Christmas of 2003. Not even consumed at all. For 2004, it's 38,156,670. Not even consumed at all. For 2005, it's 38,480,047. Not even consumed at all in 2005. For 2006, it's 39,165,830. Not even consumed at all. And finally, 2007, with a whopping 40,816,170 roasted hams that were wasted before, during, and after Christmas. Not even consumed at all on Christmas. Because if America and American statisticians can't take into account the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, which is the meat, then there are no statistics for ham or turkey when it comes to Christmas, other than numbers that can't be fact-checked based on any data at all itself, or these numbers like the 22 million number and such are just made up and can't quantify or at least justify that it actually came from America instead of stealing Christmas dinner stats from the UK. Now, let's move on to wasted roast turkeys for 2003, 4, 5, 6, and 7. For 2003, it's 43,214,000 of them, not even consumed at all. In 2004, it's 41,718,250. In 2005, it's 42,098,000. In 2006, it's 43,454,250. And finally, for 2007, it's 45,515,750. And when it comes to the Roast Game Death Toll, all the other years except for 2004, which has 979,957 deaths, the others had just about 977,280 throughout all these years. except for the leap years, which have slightly more, of course. We'll get into all the data after we're all done with all the years in this series, when it comes to increases, decreases, spikes and falls, etc. Let's do a short recap. Throughout these 5 years, it went down 4% in 2003, and then another 4% decrease in 2004, 1% increase for 2005 when it comes to turkey food waste, Christmas turkey waste. 2006, it's a 3.2% increase, and 2007 with a 5% increase in waste. This is after, of course, 2001 being a 41.2% increase in food waste from 2000, and 2002 being a 3% increase from 2001. And for wasted roast hams, the food waste went a little bit down and went right back up and got steadily worse. The roast game yearly death toll by year is stagnant at best and a little up or down when it comes to rates at worst, but still come off with the same for every other year except for leap years, of course. We'll get into 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012 in the next episode. I am Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. Have a good day, everybody. The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini-documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Hello everyone, I am Brian Mullins the Fox, and welcome to another episode of the Roast Game Numbers by the Year. This time we'll be going through 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012. But before we get into the answers for how many wasted hams and wasted turkeys were there before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed at all in Christmas, for all these 5 years, I'm going to play you a montage with music known as Screw on the Loose by Tony Lowry from 1960. Hit it. First, we'll start off with wasted turkeys. For 2008, there were 47,778,750 of them. In 2009, there were 43,314,750. Not even consumed at all. In 2010, we had 43 167,500 of these wasted turkeys before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed at all on Christmas. Hence why you can't see Christmas dinner data at all from any source that's reliable or not. In 2011, we had 44,291,250. And finally, for 2012, we had 46,244,250 of them. Now let's continue with wasted hams. In 2008, we had 43,427,349 of them, not even consumed at all. In 2009, we had 42,782,453. In 2010, we had 41,734,264. In 2011, we had 42,289,953, not even consumed at all. And finally, in 2012, we had 43,243,358. And for the roast game death toll, every year, all years except for 2008 and 2012 had 977,280. 2008 and 2012, on the other hand, had 979,957, of course, because they are leap years. Now let's shortly recap for wasted roast turkeys between 2008 and 2012. The first year had a 5% increase. The second year had a 9.4% decrease. In 2010, they had a 0.3% decrease. In 2011, they had a 0.3% increase. And finally, in 2012, they had a 4.4% increase in food waste when it comes to roasted turkeys, not even consumed at all on Christmas, just to reiterate that point. When it comes to the food waste of roasted hams, from 2008 to 2012, it's been stagnant, and 2012 ended up with slightly less wasted roast hams than in 2008, during the recession. Again, we'll see the data in full detail in illustrative graphs, bar graphs, table graphs, whatever. We'll see right on the final episode of this series. I am Brian Mullins the Fox. Tune in next time where we'll go into 2013 to 2016, the final few years of the bunch. I'm signing out. See you then. The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. The finished product of the better part of half a decade of progress of the debate, drama, mathematics, statistics, etc. This mini-documentary series will do exactly what I've been wanting to do for almost 5 years. Break down those numbers 1 year at a time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 8th and last episode of The Roast Game, Numbers by the Year. We're covering the last few years on this list of years we already covered. We'll be covering 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. We'll go over wasted turkeys first, then wasted hams as usual. Then we'll get to the roast game death toll and how many children were actually spared after 2016 or in 2017, the first year of the post-roast game era. Before we get into all that, let's do our very last research montage with the same song called Screw on the Loose by Tony Lowry from 1960. Hit it. get into wasted turkeys first. As usual, for 2013, we had 44,996,500 of them. In 2014, we had 44,609,000 wasted turkeys, not even consumed at all on Christmas. In 2015, we had 43,609,250. And finally, in 2016, we had 46,352,750 wasted turkeys before, during, and after Christmas, not even consumed at all on Christmas. We have officially completed our journey when it comes to wasted turkeys. Now on to wasted roast hams. In 2013, we had 43,122,557 wasted hams, not even consumed for Christmas or on Christmas at all. In 2014, we had 42,481,377. In 2015, we had 45,564,613 of them. And finally, the last one for wasted roast hams, in 2016, we had 46,382,349. And finally, when it comes to the roast game death toll, every single other year except for 2016, which is a leap year of course, has 977,280 deaths each. That's it for all the years before 2017. Now let's finalize the data, illustrate it, and make a few more ironclad statements. Number 1, here's the data for wasted roast turkeys. Number 2, here's the data for wasted roast hams. Number 3, here's the year-to-year data for the roast game death toll. And finally, number 4, here's all of them combined in one data set on one image. You can pause here because there are some disclaimers here. I'm not gonna lie. Now let's add all of them up. The total amount of wasted roast turkeys between 1998 and 2016 is presumably 759,098,500. The total amount of wasted roast hams is likely 692,168,791. In total, both of them make up for 1,451,267,291 combined. How many children were spared in 2017 when it comes to the roast game deaths in the post-roast game era? Only 13,383. Wow, only so few. So let's recap for one last time. Covered the last few years for wasted roast turkeys and wasted roast hams. Found out how many children were spared in 2017 from being slaughtered for not believing in Christmas in 2017. And the billions of wasted meat units. I am Brian Mullins the Fox signing out. Thank you so much for watching this entire series. I am so glad I got this finished because I have a long way ahead until I can finish that 4th of July video essay. Goodbye to you all. Hey everybody, it's Brian here, and I just want to do a short, maybe long research video to try and calculate the prices to see if, for the sake of argument, that the turkey or ham prices actually add up alongside with many other dinner items for the sake of argument when it comes to Christmas dinner during the roast game era. If it doesn't, it'll essentially prove the point of this video, that it couldn't even if it would. So without further ado, let's begin. And unlike the other Numbers by the Years series, including the one I am currently working on now, this one series is all in one video. It's a commentary. The rant after the fallout from this video will be a completely separate one as well. This will still go into volume 2 of the Numbers by the Year series. Before we try to match up the prices and see if it actually really adds up, or if it's just a contradictory price trend that fucks everything else up, for the sake of argument, let's start with the total Christmas price index from 1992 to 2020
in US dollars. We're skipping that for the sake of time. Check it out in the description box down below. The same goes for the average amount spent on Christmas trees, decorations, and other retail sales or gifts. Let's cover 1998 to 2003 and let an Exploding Topics blog take care of the rest for 2004 to 2016. An article that goes into so much depth about everything else Christmas retail price-wise, including the average prices the average American spends on food and candy by Josh Howarth. Before we even begin crunching those numbers down, let's define the hypothetical Christmas dinner from 1998 to 2016. A. Assuming that either the prices don't add up or they spend more on food than they actually do on candy during the roast game era, we'll subtract to find the large difference and account for it. B. According to an article on the Spend Smart Extension website from Iowa State, published by Peggy Martin on November 12, 2012. This is how much the average shank of roast ham costs for Thanksgiving. So I did some math, and I got $2.65 a pound for the average roast ham, both bone-in and boneless combined. And the average weight of a ham, it's 14 pounds. So on average, it costs about $37.10, and this would hopefully account for inflation. Unlike turkeys, I will only use this average for every year, including for 1998 to 2016 for the sake of argument. C. For the average price of turkeys and other menu items, we'll reference the Self.Inc. article I used in Thanksgiving dinner numbers by the year, but only go from 1998 to 2016, so that when the average price for the average roast turkey changes, it still evens out for the sake of argument. So without further ado, let's begin by defining what the average hypothetical Christmas dinner looks like for the sake of argument. These aren't necessarily in chronological order, but it doesn't matter. If the prices of the entire dinner table contradict the average amount spent for each year, starting from 2004 to 2016, I will count off the price of the centerpiece to see if it matches up then, or is below the total amount spent by the average American, more on candy than food in real life. This isn't even accounting for sweet potato casserole, because it's more traditional for Thanksgiving than it is for Christmas. And the purchase trends, their decline in months like December might actually be another contradictory factor. Because why would people buy more food than candy when in total on average $1.4 billion of candy is purchased for Christmas? I will reference the numbers from the roast game numbers by the year. Americans, of course, spend more on candy than food. Food waste is not a plus, it's a minus. Again, the $1.4 billion number, of course, is a rough average. So that means that people spend more on candy than food. Had the hams or turkeys been consumed at all, and if the money was properly spent on them and not wasted, the cost will be on par with candy overall, on average, each year during the roast game era, for the sake of argument. If the trend of Americans spending more on candy than food, like what it is supposed to be, begins to show in 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21, we'll know why. Because if the numbers before those years match up by counting off the centerpiece of Christmas dinner, in quotations, the proof wouldn't just be in the pudding, it'll be in the price. If they don't, the money that is wasted won't count. Version number 1, ham as the centerpiece, with the sides that goes as follows, from A to H. Mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, creamed corn, cranberry sauce, bread rolls, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, mac and cheese. Version number 2, turkey as the centerpiece, with the sides and desserts that goes as follows, from A to J. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, creamed corn, cranberry sauce, bread rolls, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, mac and cheese, and salad. And let's let text-to-speech bot David do the rest. Take it away, David.
Version number 1. 1998, $62. 1999, $61.40. 2000, $60.43. 2001, $59.69. Plus potatoes for mashed potatoes $64.04. 2002, $66.85. 2003, $62.98. 2004, $65.91, 78.5% of $84. First example of the contradictory trend that can be measured. 2005, $66.38, 76.3% of $87. 2006, $64.74, 74.4% of $87. 2007, $67.75, 77% of $88. 2008, $71.24, 90.2% of $79. 2009, $68.27, 76% of $90. 2010, $70.13, 78% of $90. 2011, $74.45, 73% of $102. 2012, $74.66, 74% of $101. 2013, $73.26, 70.4% of $104. 2014, $74.71, 72% of $104. 2015, $74.94, 68.2% of $110. 2016, $69.40, 63.1% of $110. Prices for each year without ham. 1998, $24.90. 1999, $24.30. 2000, $23.33. 2001, $26.94. 2002, $29.75. 2003, $25.88. 2004, $28.81. 2005, $29.28. 2006, $27.64. 2007, $30.65. 2008, $34.14. 2009, $31.17. 2010, $33.03. 2011, $37.35. 2012, $37.56. 2013, $36.16. 2014, $37.61. 2015, $37.84. 2016, $32.30. Version number 2. 1998, $43.56. 1999, $43.33. 2000, $40.25. 2001, $47.32. 2002, $48.78. 2003, $46.21. 2004, $48.36, 57.6% of $84. 2005, $49.46, 57% of $87. 2006, $48.11, 55.3% of $87. 2007, $53.44, 61% of $88. 2008, $58.70, 74.3% of $79. 2009, $55.33, 61.5% of $90. 2010, $56.46, 63% of $90. 2011, $65.93, 65% of $102. 2012, $65.47, 65% of $101. 2013, $63.47, 61% of $104. 2014, $65.68, 63.2% of $104. 2015, $68.12, 62% of $110. 2016, $61.86, 56.3% of $110.
The same as the prices for each year without ham, but also excluding stuffing and salad. Before I go into how many roast hams and turkeys were wasted in US dollars every single year during the roast game era, I will also say that not everyone is going to finish their plate. Some get too full too quickly, some might not even get full at all, even after all is eaten off the plate. Without all the excess waste, Christmas should have the similar amount of waste to Thanksgiving alone. Let's continue to let text-to-speech bot David continue to cover the rest. Take it away, David.
Cost of roast turkeys wasted: $1.28 per pound, $20.48 for a 16-pound turkey. 1998, $358,400,000. 1999, $358,400,000. 2000, $358,400,000. 2001, $871,214,080. 2002, $894,863,360. 2003, $885,022,720. 2004, $854,389,760. 2005, $862,167,040. 2006, $889,943,040. 2007, $932,162,560. 2008, $978,508,800. 2009, $887,086,080. 2010, $884,070,400. 2011, $907,084,800. 2012, $947,082,240. 2013, $921,528,320. 2014, $913,592,320. 2015, $893,117,440. 2016, $949,304,320. Average, $863.63 million. Cost of roast hams wasted. For 1998 and 1999, $318 million worth of them. 2000, $1,306,740,392.30. 2001, $1,321,081,990.90. 2002, $1,357,280,757.70. 2003, $1,376,655,676.20. 2004, $1,415,612,457. 2005, $1,427,609,743.70. 2006, $1,453,052,293. 2007, $1,514,279,907. 2008, $1,611,154,647.90. 2009, $1,587,229,006.30. 2010, $1,548,341,194.40. 2011, $1,568,957,256.30. 2012, $1,604,328,581.80. 2013, $1,599,846,864.70. 2014, $1,576,059,086.70. 2015, $1,690,447,142.30. 2016, $1,720,785,147.90. Average, around $1.4 billion.
Here's the verdict. A. There is a contradictory price trend. Americans apparently spend more on food, much more than candy, which is actually false. B. You can't possibly account for both without going beyond the price that the average American spends on both candy and food, because either Americans spent way more than they actually did, or families did not consume the meat choices in both versions of a hypothetical Christmas dinner during the roast game era from 1998 to 2016. C. Billions of dollars were wasted on roast hams for Christmas each year during the roast game era, while only hundreds of millions were wasted on roast turkeys alone. Food waste is not a plus, just like I said before, financial-wise. It's a minus, meaning that Americans tend to spend more on candy than food, which is the actual trend in reality during those years. And had they not spent so much on candy, the average price of a 10 or 12 person Christmas dinner would be on par with Thanksgiving. That is, of course, without either the ham or turkey. Any potential ham or turkey, in quotations, bought is one wasted, not consumed at all. So, of course, in this perspective, more candy is spent than food. D. Every dinner menu item except for the centerpiece in both versions can be accounted for, price-wise, in the same way, not to make it a complete Christmas dinner table/plate like it should have been, had the hams or turkeys been actually consumed and the money well spent. The cost will be on par with candy overall. It'll be 50-50. And finally, E. The only alternative to turkey or ham that they actually consumed during the roast game era, like I've said for almost 5 years, is children. Human meat. Taking a human life is effectively priceless, but it is costly legally, and you should not do that. You should never do that. It is illegal to murder. Cannibalism is legal in a gray area, so as far as I'm concerned, they got away with it without conspiracy. So in conclusion, does the hypothetical Christmas dinner table add up in spite of the roast game during the roast game era? The short and simple answer is no. This is the direct reason why that this hypothetical Christmas dinner table is not the case. Thank you all for watching. All links and sources will be in the description box down below. I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. Now it's time for me to go back to making more episodes of Halloween Numbers by the Year, 2000 to 2021. Goodbye to you all. Hello everybody and welcome to the new year of 2023. I am your delightful host, Brian Mullins the Fox. Welcome to Christmas dinner all over the world, Numbers by the Year. Before I get into all the juicy numbers, I have to make things clear. There's no universally accepted holiday for every single country in the world. We'll do it by a continent basis, mainly based on Statista's reach on how many countries have relevant results for the term quote-unquote Christmas dinner. A lot of them are hidden underneath a paywall, but just because they're under a paywall does not necessarily mean that you can't get even the littlest detail on at least how much they spent on Christmas dinner worldwide, per country. Let's start with North America. A. The United States of America. Long before the roast game era, starting at around 1900, was when the Christmas ham was first introduced, but didn't become a popular centerpiece for Christmas dinner until 1960. Other meat choices were on top of ham long before 1960 and long before the roast game era. During the roast game era, families were literally eating their own children butt meat-wise as their Christmas roast after slaughtering them for not believing in Christmas. All of this occurred from 1998 all the way up to the end of 2016, or the Christmas of 2016 was the last roast game Christmas. The post-roast game era began in 2017, or on the Christmas of 2017, where families went back to the preferred choice of centerpiece meat, be it ham, turkey, lamb, or beef, or whatever, after 20 years of not doing so. 18,568,322 children were slaughtered for not believing in Christmas. 13,383 children were spared in 2017, possibly developing post-traumatic stress disorder throughout their lives, something they can't possibly cope with. And this other survey was during the Great Recession of 2007 to 8, so this one doesn't really matter that much. We've already covered the United States in 2 Numbers by the Year series, the Roast Game Numbers by the Year and Hypothetical Christmas Dinner Numbers by the Year. B. Canada. The Roast Game era also applies to Canada, but in a much worse sense. Canada takes up the biggest chunk of the Roast Game death toll, with 86,063,825 of them. And finally, C. Mexico. Centerpiece meat-wise, they have similar meat preferences, but Mexico is the only country that the roast game never happened in North America. Canada and America were the only countries where this took place back then. Let's get back to Mexico. So according to this Statista survey, 32% goes to turkey, 12.5% goes to tamales, 10.8% goes to pork leg, 7.6% goes to pozole, and 7.6% goes to roasted stuffed chicken. These are meat choice preferences, obviously, or meal choices. Now let's get into South America. Let's continue with all the countries Statista has for South America when it comes to Christmas dinner statistics or surveys. Starting with A, Brazil. During a survey carried out in December of 2018, it was found that Brazilians spent on average $282 per person during Christmas, out of which $117, around 41.5%, were spent on food. B, Chile. The leading symbols of Christmas in Chile in 2020. 57.4% say it's Christmas dinner. C, Colombia. In 2019, a total of 24.11 billion Colombian pesos were spent during Christmas on Colombia in products and services like Christmas presents, Christmas dinner, alcohol decoration, and vacations. The total spending during this season increased by 23% compared to a year earlier, where the total value amounted to 19.6 billion. And finally, D for South America. Argentina. During a survey carried out in December 2018, it was found that Argentinians spent on average $290 per person during Christmas, out of which $125, around 43%, were spent on food. That will do for South America. Let's get on with Europe. A, the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Ooh, looky there. The cost of Christmas dinner in the United Kingdom from 1981 to 2015. This statistic, even though hidden under a paywall, shows the cost of Christmas dinner in the UK between 1981 and 2015. The cost of Christmas dinner has fluctuated during the period under consideration, with a low of £33.59 in 2003 and a high of £40.07 in 1981. B, France. Here's the average Christmas budget per French household in 2017. €181 was spent on food per French household. Here's the estimated budget spent on food for Christmas in France 2019. With people going on the hunt for festive decorations, the perfect gifts, and tasty menus, the end of the year has established itself as a peak season for the retail sector. In 2019, the average budget dedicated to Christmas food by French people amounted to €156. And here is the distribution of the average Christmas expenses of French people in 2020 by expense item. €134 went to Christmas dinner. C, Spain. Even though Spain is on their list, there's simply no result that I can find for this country when it comes to Christmas dinner. They do have a statistic for Christmas candy in Spain. Moving on to the next. D. Italy. This statistic illustrates the per capita expenditure on restaurant Christmas dinners among the Italian population in 2016. According to the survey results, nearly 1 in 2 respondents, 47%, spent between 25 and 50 euro on their Christmas dinner, while about 1/5 of respondents spent between 50 and 90 euro. Which dessert will you choose for Christmas, Italians, as of December 2017? 76% say they will buy a panettone, 70% said they will buy a pendero, and 48% said, I will make a traditional dessert myself. That's what they said. Prices of Christmas desserts in Italy in 2019 and 2020. E. Hungary. The most common Christmas activities in Hungary in 2021 is making pastries at home. F. Norway. Here is the average holiday spending per person in December of 2021 in Norway. For December 2021, each Norwegian person is estimated to spend over 12,000 Norwegian kroner as a part of the holiday season spending. Food and drinks is projected to make up a little over 5,000 Norwegian kroner out of the total spending average per person. Location of Juleborg celebration in Norway 2015 to 18. The statistic shows the results of a survey on the location of Juleborg celebration in Norway from 2015 to 18. The majority of respondents answered that the Norwegian company feast would take place at a public place, with a share of 64% in 2015 and 69% in 2018. In 2015 and 17, a share of 18% of respondents stated to go to Juleborg in premises at the workplace. In the following year, it amounted to 17%. And the month of Juleborg celebration in Norway from 2015 to 18. The majority of respondents named December. G. Sweden. Favorite dish at the Juleborg in Sweden 2019 to 21. Christmas ham, Julskinga, or however you pronounce it, seemed to be the most preferred dish at the Swedish Juleborg in 2021, as well as in 2020. Roughly 25 or more percent agreed that this was the favorite dish in both years. In 2021, the potato, cream, and anchovy dish came at second place, as it was the favorite dish of 15% of the respondents. H. Denmark. 72% said duck, 59% said roasted pork, 8% said turkey, 5% said goose, and 3% said I don't know / I do not eat meat. I. Germany. Private household demand for geese in Germany 2016 to 17. This statistic shows the demand for geese in German households in 2016 and 17. In December of 2017, around 7,000 tons of geese were purchased by private households in Germany. J. Russia. They hold Christmas in Russia around New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and it ends on January 10th usually. The next time it happens is January 7th, 2023. So this likely happened well after this video premieres. Favorite dishes for New Year's Eve in Russia 2009 to 2019. Olivier salad was the most popular dish for New Year's dinner in Russia in 2019, which was also the most frequently named dish for such an event in 2009. Tangerines and another typical Russian salad, Selyedga Podshuboy, which refers to dressed herring, made it to the New Year's Eve menu in the majority of Russian households during both observed periods. K. Poland. The leading food, according to this survey in 2019, is dumplings with cabbage and mushroom. The Netherlands. This statistic displays the expenditure on the Christmas dinner in the Netherlands in 2013 and 17 in euros. Compared to 2013, Christmas dinner expenditure in the Netherlands in 2017 increased significantly, whereas 2013, families spent approximately 85 euros on their Christmas dinner. By 2017, this had grown to nearly 110 euros. That was a long one. Now let's get into Africa. The section won't be too long. Let's start with Nigeria. Christmas activities in Nigeria 2021. In 2021, over 60% of the respondents in a Christmas survey in Nigeria who were asked about their plans for Christmas celebrations confirmed having planned a variety of activities for Christmas, including home cooking, attending church, and having dinner with the family. Moreover, over 55% also confirmed adding home decorations and watching movies with the family. 1/4 of the participants said they were either going for a walk or attending a concert. B. South Africa. In 2021, most participants, 83% in a Christmas survey in South Africa, who were asked about their plans for Christmas celebrations, said they were going to do home cooking and or have family dinner, 82%. Around half of all participants also confirmed doing a various range of activities such as visiting a church, doing home decorations, watching movies, playing games with the family, and singing and dancing with the family. And finally, for Africa, Kenya. In 2021, most participants, 72% in a Christmas survey in Kenya, who were asked about their plans for Christmas celebrations, said they would have family dinner. The second most frequent response was home cooking with 69%, followed by attending church with 67% of respondents. Now, that's it for Africa. Now let's move on to Asia. A. Japan. Every year, 3.6 million Japanese families eat KFC for Christmas. KFC sells 800,000 Christmas packs and 300,000 party barrels in peak season. The link to this article will be in the description box down below. Every other country in the Asia category in Statista does not have any statistics relating to their customs or dinner menu item preferences. And finally, 6. Australia. Australia does not have a Christmas dinner stat on Statista necessarily, but there is this graphic. So between 2010 to 2015, for each January, it went from 13.2% in 2011, 12.4% in 2012, 12.7% in 2013, 10.3% in 2014, and 12% in 2015. These are all in the month of January, where they usually have their Christmas dinner. In January, not December. I'm not including Antarctica, because there are no Christmas traditions in Antarctica, so in total I have just statistically analyzed through surveys, statistics, and prices 24 countries from all around the world to the best of my ability. Again, before I end this video, there is no universally agreed upon holiday in the world. That'll do it for Christmas dinner all over the world, numbers by the year. I've been your delightful host, Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then.